Hello and welcome to Annoyed Gamer. I am coming to you live from the King's Head in Santa Monica. I am waiting for my delicious bacon and egg sandwich to arrive. But until then, Marcus Beer, that's me, the clown prince of bitchiness, is here to deliver another bunch of rants and observations based on what you give a shit about. Alright, first topic, game manuals. Now you know if you buy games, you get the little insert inside, and that little insert sometimes is a big insert and it tells you story, character information, gives you a character tree or a skill tree, and maybe comes with a map. It's a great little thing that, you know, when you open up, especially with RPGs, while you're putting the game in your system, whether it be an install on console or even PC, or you're downloading or whatever you're doing, updating, it's a fun thing to read. Unfortunately, the game manual has been going the way of the dodo over the last couple of years. Ubisoft started the ball rolling a couple of years ago by getting rid of manuals and replacing them with online PDFs, and I think it's become a huge trend now. I mean, obviously it saves money for the publisher. Now, do they pass those savings on to us? Well, no, not so much. The price of games hasn't really gone down, even with digital distribution games. Hopefully, the money that they do save goes on a little bit, perhaps, towards the developers. The other plus side is that it saves a tree or two. Do I miss game manuals? Yes, I do. I like having a manual to read. I like seeing the skill trees. I like seeing the maps. I used to love, you know, getting a PC game in a box and having something really thick to read and all the character classes and all the backstories for each particular one. But now tutorials are advanced enough in games, and they do come as standard, that we don't miss it perhaps as much as we should. Are manuals going to come back? No. Let's face it, we're going to have PDFs, no problem at all. So anyway, RIP manuals, we'll miss you. Love you. Okay, next topic. This week I'm going to have a pop at politicians. These are the guys who love going after games as what they see as an easy target. They pander to the myth that gamers are all children, or if they're grown-ups, they're absolute idiots who go off and play games in their spare time between interfering with small gerbils and living in their mom's basement. The people who are going to get my wrath this week are the Republican Party of Maine. This particular bunch of buttfelchers decided to attack a Democratic nominee and produce a flyer to mail out to everybody because this person is apparently evil. The lady in question was so horrible. She liked playing World of Warcraft. Oh, the horror. The main GOP party decided to say that this was a lazy and immature pastime and not something befitting a member of the government. The main Republicans, of course, seem to forget that one of the US diplomatic corps who was actually killed in the Middle East in the Troubles recently was a well-known and well-respected player of EVE Online. He was very high up in the EVE Online hierarchy, if you will, and still balanced the fact that he worked overseas in an intense hotspot and did his job phenomenally well by all accounts. Now, I've got to be fair, in the interest of balance, as much as I love smacking Republicans, figuratively, I'm not allowed to do it literally, I've got to be balanced about this, and it's not just Republicans who go after gamers. Hillary Clinton in the past has gone after gamers. We've got Leyland Yee up in San Francisco who has got a permanent hard-on for the games industry, and not in a good way. He's the guy who's kind of replaced Jack Thompson as public enemy #1 when it comes to, you know, getting games into court, getting them banned, getting them rated beyond their means. Basic point, politicians lay off gamers. We're a good bunch of people. We are the people, especially the younger generation, who will be your IT people of tomorrow, your movie makers of tomorrow, your authors of tomorrow, and hell, even your politicians of tomorrow. We need more politicians to actually play and understand games, instead of pandering to the lunatic fringes on the left and the right who feel that video games are bad. Really? You don't want somebody like me bitching at you. You've got more important things to do. How about solving a deficit issue? How about getting healthcare for people? How about getting people into work, getting roofs over their heads and food on the table? That's more important, and in particular, main GOP, that's way more important than worrying if a candidate is a level 80 Night Elf in World of Warcraft. And to you watching this, I will say, go and look at the Video Game Voters Association. They are a great bunch of people who do a lot of stuff to try and protect games and gamers from the politicians who view us as an easy mark, an easy kill, if you will. Okay, hot button topic, and one that's really come to its head in the last couple of weeks in the light of the Resident Evil review scores being all over the shop, high ends, low ends, etc. Whenever this happens, some ass clowns in the games community decide to start throwing out accusations of not bias, but corruption. In fact, it happens every time there's a score that none of us agree with. Now, it's great that we have scores on both ends of the spectrum. Am I happy that people enjoy Resident Evil 6? Yes, because it appeals to them, they're getting enjoyment out of it, and I don't begrudge anybody that. Did the game do anything for me? I didn't like the game, but that's my opinion. That's all this is at the end of the day. Yes, there are perks to the jobs. Yes, we get sent some cool stuff like a cool tchotchke t-shirt, baseball cap, maybe a cool statue or something. That's great. That's a little bit of swag we put on our desks and we have fun with. But there are no envelopes full of cash. Some of the charges against one reviewer in particular for GameSpot for his low review of Resident Evil blew my mind away. A bunch of people said, oh, you must have been bought off to review it so low. Who would pay somebody to low score a game? Are you imagining that EA, Ubisoft, Activision, and Atlas and a bunch of other people got together and said, let's pay GameSpot to trash the review and then it will be wonderful for us because they won't sell? Seriously? You think that's true? None of the journalists I know or I have worked with over the last 20 years in the UK, Europe, or the US have ever intimated to me that they would like a bribe for a review score. I've never offered a bribe. I don't know any PR people who've offered a bribe in any way, shape, or form. Let's face it, if you're a games reviewer, you don't actually get paid a lot of money anyway. You get some cool games, you get some cool swag, great. But if you let that influence your review, you'll get found out so quick it's not even funny. And if you don't have a good reputation as a good reviewer, you won't be hired by anybody and you'll end up on your own, blogging in the basement with no games to play anyway because nobody will send you anything. Now, obviously, I did talk a couple of weeks ago about people deliberately scoring games low just to get hits. The best way to find that is to actually look at the person's review and then look at the review score. If those two don't tally up, then that's basically just a troll thing just to get people like me talking about it, and well done, they succeed. But yeah, let's quit it. Let's quit the accusations of people being bought. And while we're at it, I'm going to ask for the moon here. Stop with the homophobic. Stop with the racist. Let's all grow up and play our games and love our games and care about our games. And you know what? Put some trust in the people who review. They're there to make sure you don't buy a pile of crap. That's it. Done for this week. I have a bacon and egg sandwich waiting for me. I'm going to go and munch down on it in a second. As always, you can follow me on Twitter and submit your questions and general points of view to me there, or you could do it on the Annoyed Gamer forums, or of course the GT forums. Thank you as always for watching. Thank you for your comments and your thumbs up and your thumbs down. I'm Marcus Beer, I'm in the pub, and I got a breakfast to get.
See this and other GT shows and game reviews on the GT Originals iOS app, available now on the App Store.